Okay, y'all, let's get into THC and cannabis a little bit, the devil's lettuce, and break some stuff down. Your mother's milk, the breast milk from a human being, has THC in it. We as humans, as every other living species, has the CB1 and CB2 receptors, the cannabinoid receptors. And basically, your mother's milk is letting you know about the world in another type of aspect. And it's loading you up with this THC and these cannabinoids from the breast milk. And this is where children seem to have that more of a natural high. Okay, and the Mother Earth, God, has created this plant as a mother's milk plant. Okay, and it feeds us knowledge about ourselves, but it also feeds us knowledge about the world out there and the spirit of man, the spirit of earth, and these other things. It helps us clue in on things that we wouldn't normally do, and pay attention to the things that we may not normally pay attention to. It helps us break the molds and the locks and the doors in this world that keep us confined. And as it does this, it does it on the internal spectrum, the single eye. And a lot of people can't handle themselves, and a lot of people can't handle these thoughts that come into their own head. These thoughts aren't coming from the plant. These thoughts are not coming from the high. These plants are coming from yourself, okay? Your internal being, that light that's inside of you, that's thinking, that's running this machine, okay? It's turning on pathways in your brain that already exist. All right, these chemicals already exist. You're just turning on the receptors. You're turning on the pathways. So as you're doing this, it's breaking the programming that you've been taught. As it breaks down the programming, people become paranoid or anxious or whatever's going on. Okay? So it takes time in different ways to become adjusted and at one with the so-called being high up on that mountain, because a lot of people are scared of heights. And when you go into a place and you're so-called high or whatever, you may feel like everybody's watching you or those types of things. That's that being on that high place and looking down and those types of things. And it's just a spiritual aspect, okay? But you have to work these things out, and depending who you are, depending what you are, depending where you are, all these different things will depend on how that heaven is opened up to you, or how you get comfortable on that high place, okay? Because when you're a mountain climber and you're going up into those high places, it takes time to get adjusted to looking down and not being scared on that sidewall and all those other things. So, and plus you have the propaganda machine telling you this, that, and the other, and it's all lies if you've ever been part of this, that, or the other. All right? Our world is basically compartmentalized and divided, and with that, you can conquer. So, the THC molecule, the people who can partake daily and not get freaked out or whatever, their cannabinoid system is leveled out, okay? And that's leveled out as far as physically and spiritually. Until you get leveled out, then you still have issues to work out with yourself. Okay? And it's going to be different for everybody, because everybody has had a different environment. Everybody, while we're given the same master program, right? Your textbooks, your school, your world stage, we all have individual programs we have to deal with through our parents, through our grandparents, through our aunts, uncles, cousins, our neighbors, our pastors, our teachers, everything localized. You are a son. Each one of us is a son of God, and we have moons, everybody around us, and they can either reflect our light, or they can be the dark side of the moon and not reflect our light, according to the NASA. All right, moon reflecting the light. But the moon is the lesser light, so that's where you don't take the advice, or you don't listen to that person. But this is where the church is coming in. They're using this man, this begotten son, and they're telling you this is God, this is how he wants you to live. And then that's where they're reflecting that begotten son of the Laodicea onto you and telling you this is bad, this is good, that plan is bad, these pills are good, that guy over there is bad, this guy in the white coat is good, and whatever else. And Jesus told you to beware of the dudes in the flowing robes, and that's your dudes in the white coats, where you're going in that white building where there's rooms with many, or a mansion with many rooms, or whatever. And the mansion, whew, I don't want that. That's the hospital. The hospital. That pit tail. That tail where you're climbing up on the back of that dragon, and he sleeps in the pit. He's your host. And as we weave through time, we're actually in like a live guinea pig stage. And as a live guinea pig stage, most people, like the Time News is reporting, how like 60%, I think that's a little low, but the 60% of America lives on ultra processed foods. That's like their main diet, is 60% of their diet is ultra processed. All right, so that's that 66 a little bit there on the old sick side. That detoxification is coming, and as a detoxification is coming, the ox, the lower chakra, that slave driver, and those types of things that love that feed, they're going to be breaking off as the serpent climbs down and gives that belly a rumble. Okay, that little rumble in the belly, the food items and stuff. This is part of those earquakes, the earthquakes that are coming. But THC, that plant, is given for a reason. It has over 20,000, over 25,000 uses, whatever the number is now. It has all your terpenes in it, all your flavonoids in it, and they're not in every single plant. They have to be hunted out and whatever. And this is could be one of the first trade and barter systems is with this plant, because you can clone it, and then once you find that genetic, you want to keep it going and breed that genetic and all these other things. And this has been going on for a long time. This is why they made that plant illegal for a long time. Why do they want that plant illegal? You have to think to yourself this. Why do they want this illegal? Well, I'm going to go do what they don't want me to have. I'm going to go read what the pastor tells me not to read. I'm going to do what that man tells me not to do, because I have to test all men. I have to see if what he's saying is true for me too.